Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming to my channel. You are so welcome. Okay. All right. So today's topic is going to be about Labor Day and using Labor Day for opportunities for our home. And what we want to do is we want to take this weekend to clean and organize our closets and any room and space in your home that you feel like you want to get ready. And Labor Day is a great time to get the home ready for the fall season. So we have a 3-day weekend, right? Got to be excited about that, right? So, some people you might be on vacation. This is a great weekend to go on vacation. It's a great weekend to, do a lot of things, a lot of times people do weddings, they do family reunions, they get together with people, they go out of town. It's a day rest as well. So you can use this 3-day weekend to chill and relax. That's okay. Don't let anybody talk you out of that either. Okay. But, for me and my encouragement for you today is I would use this weekend as an opportunity to get my home ready for the fall season. And so, with that being said, there's a lot of things that we could be doing. We could, simply be recycling paper. We could be cleaning out things. We could be organizing things. And that's just what I want to encourage you to do, for the weekend. And so I do have a full series of podcasts already from my spring cleaning series. And that podcast series will go very much into detail on how to work each room by room. So I don't want to go off into too much of it on this podcast because again, I have a full series going back to spring organization, back in the springtime that you can look up, in the catalog of my, channel. Okay. All right. So, but for this weekend, what we're going to do is just do a few simple things, guys, that you can do. Don't overwork yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself because, again, we want to still enjoy the weekend. But let's go ahead and let's choose a room or two. And let's go ahead and start cleaning it, start organizing. And let's go ahead and start giving things away, boxing it up, getting it to charity, all those things. Okay. That's going to make you feel really good and really proud. Again, I just cannot stress the fact of that. The new season of fall is coming. So you want to clear out space. You want to make space for the new room and the new season in a physical kind of way, a mental kind of way, emotional kind of way. All of those things. You might be able to make a little money too. Did you think about that? Yeah. Put a little money in your pocket. And the way you can do that is by, selling a few things that you have. Have you thought about going on eBay, selling, good handbags that you have, shoes that you're not wearing, clothes you're not wearing, maybe even certain kind of furniture items, certain type of decorative things that they might be vintage, they might be exclusive items and everything. You could be making money off of those things. And so think about that as well, about reselling some of your items, getting them ready, creating like a little store and getting everything ready to be sold to someone and make you a little cash off of it, right? And then put it back in your pocket, save it. You can save it for Christmas gifts, anything you want to do, right? So yeah, you see, you didn't think about it like that. There is money in your closets. There is money in your garage. So yeah, so make your money, honey. And of course, with that, we want to always sell the best. We don't want to give somebody something less than something that we just really know is not, standard. You wouldn't want that because you wouldn't want it yourself. So always, sell your best items. That's how you get the maximum amount of money. Even when it comes to donating and thrifting things to the stores, make sure that you give away your better items and don't use those stores as a junk store, or a junkyard. Use those stores to actually trade out things. That's the way you should think of it. It's like, okay, I want to trade these things out. And granted that on that particular, day or store, you're not necessarily going to get immediate cash back. But what you're doing is that you're giving and you're donating something that is valuable to somebody else and that is more appropriate for that person to want to wear or want to have, right? And so in the end, of course, in the universe, things are always given back to you in some kind of way. And so that's another reason why I believe in not just, using those stores just to be throwing out anything. If it's something that is not really up standard, it's not, of good, health, or it's not in this good condition and all of that, you can just actually throw those things away. You can actually take those things to other places that are more appropriate for you to actually recycle out your home. But just be a little picky on purpose about what you're giving away and what you're selling, and, yeah. So that's how I would roll with that, and so, with that, it doesn't necessarily mean that designer is the answer, because that's a philosophy we're kind of sold on, is to give your best or to give good things away. It means to give designer things away, not necessarily. And I'm not saying that everything has to be completely still brand new or it has to be designer. I'm just saying, like, let's give our better items, let's put our better items out there. That's all I'm saying. Okay. All right. So, yeah. And what else do we have? Okay, so that's our closet. For our kitchen, our kitchen has all of our kitchen equipment, utensils, and all of that. And so you just want to think about it in the same way. Is there something that can be resold? You haven't used that blender. It still has tags on it. Is it something from your wedding registry that I don't want you to get in trouble about? So let me be careful about that one. But you know what I'm saying. But maybe now you've been married 5 or 10 years and all of that now. So your guests may not notice that it was resold. Okay. But I wouldn't do it if it's within that first 5 years, because that's a sensitive topic. But my veterans, my people been married over more than 5 years. Maybe you want to look at some of those gifts that's not being used and they have not been used within the last 5 years. Those are items, again, that you could resell or, trade off or thrift off and all of those things. So think about that, right? And so with your kitchen equipment and kitchen accessories, I can tell you that that's an area that you definitely want to get down to the minimum and not overcrowd. And you want to take advantage of your space in the kitchen, because even with the, largest kitchen, even with the most modern kitchen, even in these new homes where they give you a ton of space, it doesn't mean to necessarily fill everything up and have every little space and every little, nook taken up. I wouldn't do that. I always believe in still having a certain amount of cabinet space that is available. I always believe in still having room in the kitchen, for anything, I just don't believe having every little thing taken up. So I definitely would encourage you to have your kitchen reduced down to a certain percentage. So you can keep things, again, quick, clean, effective. It makes your kitchen run much faster. You can see where things are, so you're not, every time that you go to go get a pot, stuff is just falling off, falling on you and falling out the cabinet, and you got to duck and hide. I don't know, because some of you, I feel like you may have to have insurance. I may have to have insurance to come in your kitchen, because I may open up a cabinet and stuff start falling all on me. So that is not what you want. That's not the thing to do, y'all. reduce the amount of equipment and accessories that you have in that kitchen. There's only so many forks you can use, only so many pots and pans you can use, only so many cups. I know in your mind you thinking, when I entertain, when my in-laws come over, when my nieces and nephew come over, when my guests, and all of that comes over, I need this, I need that. Sure, you have the right to entertain, but think of it like this. Do you entertain in that kind of maximum amount of way? Like, do you entertain to the point that you would need so much inventory? Probably not, right? You're going to do 2 to 3 major engagements for the year. Maybe that, if that, you know what I'm saying? 2 to 3 major engagements that you would do. And so you can create a space even for that, whereas that you have an entertainment space. And these are items and merchandise that you want to use in regards to entertaining. So you can create a section in your kitchen like that. Because again, I know people who have these new homes and these new modern kitchens, I know that you actually do have the space to do all of that. So maybe that's a solution and an answer to it, just to create an entertainment space for yourself that is a little bit separate from your main kitchen. And even with that, again, still just try to balance it all, y'all. So that's my advice on the kitchen, is to minimize the equipment, the amount of accessories and utensils, so you can make it easy, efficient, and quick to move around the kitchen. And use your space wisely. Okay. All right. So what's the next room we want to go to? We can go to our living room and our closet, our hall closets and our offices and all of that, right? I'm just going to join all those together. Same thing, same strategy. Let's, declutter, let's clean, let's organize those rooms. Let's get things out that we no longer have use or time for and everything. Same thing as those other rooms, right? Right. Yeah. And for your living room and for your office, that's also an opportunity to move things around, as in like, kind of a little bit of redecorating, but you can redecorate with what you have already, because I know people switch out pillows. I know people have blankets. People have, different accessories to their home, to their living room and their home offices that make them more comfortable throughout the season. So this would be a good time to maybe switch up a color, switch up a texture of a pillow, maybe put a new blanket out there on the couch, maybe switch something up in your office. This is a good opportunity to shop within your home, actually, because I guarantee you within your home, you have something that you can switch out and make it new for yourself. Okay. Before we actually buy something for the new season. So try to, use your resources and be sustainable in your home. That's fine. Use it in different ways. Maybe look up, decorating ideas, interior decorating ideas that can give you ideas on how you want your colors and your layouts to be, maybe. And again, I promise you can probably do it right within your home before stepping out of your home and buying something. Okay. All right. Let's talk about our coat closets, our linen closets, hide our treasures, hide our junk kind of closets. We all have one. And that's fine. But those are little closets that makes a huge difference, and they usually require a lot of time, because we use those closets, to try to make the rest of the home look good, and we try to get a quick solution. So we'll use those closets and put everything in there. But however, what I want to encourage you on is to clean out those closets. Those closets are going to give you a tremendous amount of space and utilization on things if you actually get them cleaned out and get them spaced out in a way to where that you can, use them for other things and keep using them, right? And so, let's make sure that we're not, overstacking things. Let's make sure that we are creating clear space and clear defined space in those closets so that we can see where things are and we know where to go to and how to get to it when we want it and we need it. And that's what it's going to be all about, guys. It's like in each and every one of these rooms, you want to create, defined space. You know where things go. You know that magazines go over here in the trunk. You know that my throw pillows, my extra pillows, my linens and everything, they should have a defined space on where you want those things to go, and how you want to store those things away. Store, not throw, but store those things away. And so same thing in these little mini closets is that if this is where I keep my little gift shop, my little holiday decor. When the holidays are coming, how to get to those things that you want and what you need without it being such a hassle, without it being, such a thing that you got to, spend 2 or 3 days towards it. And if you go ahead and you create this strategy and you utilize these strategies that I'm telling you this weekend, it is going to set your home up for a dynamic season of organization. And that is going to make you feel so good, so great. It creates a great community for your home, especially if you're married, you have children. There's an understanding of where things go. There's an understanding of, what you want out, what you don't want out. And when you don't want it out, there's an understanding of how to create a destination for it. And so you want those destinations to be, labeled. You want them to be understood by everybody where those destinations are and where things should be stored. So that's why it's important to have those spaces organized as well. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and go to our garage, our outdoor spaces and everything. This could be a great weekend for some people on that. Maybe this is the weekend you want to tackle your garage. You want to get your garage, organized. You want to create space in there. You want things to now have a, place in a home. You want, so same thing as every other room. So we'll do that for the garage and our sheds and our storages and everything. Okay. Now I will say for the garages and for your storage sheds and outside storages, if you do go into this project, you do need to kind of strategize and don't jump into it without being able to finish it. Or to come to a good stopping point. So think about it like this, that these are going to be your bigger projects. And so you might want to think about like, okay, how are things going to be discarded? Who's going to pick those things up? Where are we going to take these things? Do we have a service to come in and to pick these things up? Do I have a third party service to help us on this, help us on that? Those things, those are things to think about when you're going into like your garage and your shed. You might need a third party service. There's nothing wrong with that. You might need, again, more resources for it. So think about that one if that's what you want to go into this weekend. And if you do go into the garage this weekend, be careful with the temperatures, especially if you stay in southern states. Be understanding of, your temperatures. Is it, too hot to be back there? Or what's a good time of the day to be in the garage? If this is a project you want to work on, then maybe you might say, hey, I need to be up at 5 a.m. And so we can have a good amount of things taken care of by 9 a.m. before the sun really hits. Or, vice versa, that maybe 6 o'clock in the evening to 6 to 9 at night is a better situation. So think about those things as well. That's very important. You always want to stay safe because those spaces get hot really quick, humidity and all those things. So I wouldn't want you to overwhelm yourself in that regards, guys. Okay. Um, yeah, yeah. And then you might want to think about it again in increments. You might say, okay, because I have a 2-car garage, that's pretty huge. A 2-car garage is pretty big. And if you have things stored in that garage, that's not something that is actually probably going to be done instantly, maybe all in this weekend. So you might want to again strategize on the fact of like, what part of the garage are we going to work on this weekend? What in particular do we want to work on in the garage? And come up with a strategy on how you're going to get that done. And then also have a strategy on how to come to a stopping point. So you'll say to yourself, like, okay, we're going to get the left side of the garage done. And we know that we're going to come to a stopping point. And what we're going to do is that maybe next month comes to the end of September, come October, we'll get to the right side. So you want to have that in mind on how you can come to a stopping point, what's a safe point, and go from there as well, okay? And so that's okay too, to take it into increments, and definitely think about how you're going to do that, all right? Okay, so let's see, we got our, garages, our outside spaces. Living room, we talked about the kitchen. We talked about the closet, I believe, right? Did we talk about the closet? Yeah, because we talked about how to make money off of it, right? Okay, same thing for our bathrooms and our bathroom suites and all these things, right? This is a good time to start organizing our vanity closets. Maybe we want to go through there and we want to get, extra products that we've been using out of there, minimize it. We want to get those extra gift soaps and gifts out of there and, recycle those things out, give those things away, maybe resell certain things that have not been used. I know a lot of my ladies have a lot of expensive perfumes and fragrances and things. And sometimes, because we have an excessive amount of it through gift giving, depending on if you're a blogger, influencer, and all of that. I know my influencers, they get a lot of products and a lot of things. And so sometimes these things are not even open and all of that. Check the expiration date on it, if it's still good, if it's certain things that can be, used, resold and all that. This might be a good time to gather those products. Again, create you a little, eBay store, create you a little TikTok store. I don't know what y'all use now. But it's so many, different ways to have these storefronts. That's what I'm saying. But this might be a good time to, create revenue on that. It's like, okay, I didn't, get to this promotional product and all of that. So that's a great way of being able to not waste products, and to have them utilized as well. Okay. All right. Okay. So is there something I'm missing? Yeah, I think that should take care of it for the most part. Yeah, that should take care of it. And yeah, and this encouragement, guys, is again, this is an encouragement to you. This is a motivation. You don't have to get to all of these rooms within one weekend, of course. Choose one room. I'm telling you, that would make you so happy. If you choose 2 to 3 rooms, that's fine, depending on how much support you have and what you feel like doing. Maybe you can also just touch up in each room, because that's something I talk about in my previous series. Is like sometimes what I would do is that I would spend 30 minutes per room sometimes, and which means like those are my major rooms, and I'll spend 30 minutes towards each one, and that makes a huge difference too, because you will be surprised. 30 minutes per room will get you very far down the road and get you a lot of good results. So yeah, so think of it like that as well if you want to split your time. So it's all up to you, but let's do, let's get something done. If you have the time and if this is what you want to do for the weekend, and if you got the availability to do it, okay. And I just again think that this is a good weekend to do it. I think it sets the tone, resets the home, and gets the home ready for the upcoming season. And when you start to go into your fall festivities and everything, you've got the, space, you've got the, room for it, you've got the motivation and energy for it. And, it just gives more, joy to it, I think, in my, personal opinion and everything. So yeah. So that's where I'm coming from on it. Yeah. And so, that's what, like I say, that's what I would do. And anything you want to do, anything you want to clean, maybe you want to clean, your phone out. I just thought about that. Maybe this is a time to say, hey, I'm going to, clean off documents off my computer. Maybe I'm going to clean up, phone numbers that I'm not using. Maybe I'm going to go through emails and all of that. You can do that as well. Maybe this is a good week. Maybe this is a good weekend to clean up software. It's a good weekend to, clean up your computer, organize documents, go through emails, go through photos. Maybe you have an excessive amount of photos and it's time to transfer some of those photos over to a safe space and all of that. Okay. And so, yeah. Now, when you go through your photos, guys, be careful because, sometimes, we get to deleting and clicking and yeah. So, be careful with your photos, use your storage clouds, make sure you have those extra little, portable, storage, equipment discs that you can put on the phone or your computer to back everything up, cause I wouldn't want you to lose valuable information. So stay safe on all of that. But this is a good opportunity to do that as well, because that actually does take a lot of time and it's tedious sometimes. And you could use one day, for that, as well. So yeah. But anyways, guys, I'm going to end the podcast here. I hope you have a fantastic, Labor Day weekend. Don't overwork yourself, of course, because it is Labor Day weekend, but I would use this weekend to reset my home and get ready for the new season. And I just hope that you stay encouraged and motivated and inspired. And so you have a great weekend and I will truly see you on the next one. Okay. Bye.